You're right, all. So I just wanted to discuss two headlines that caught my attention this evening. The first one is about the pneumonia cases rising in China. It's also going across to India as well. So there's echoes of what happened this time 4 years ago. It began in China, and it sort of made its way across to us. Netherlands and Denmark, they're getting involved now. The symptoms are quite similar to something in The Simpsons.
Springfielders are advised to stay tuned for more information if they experience any of the following symptoms: mild thirst, occasional hunger, tiredness at night.
I love the way his eyes look as in like, what am I reading towards the end of that one. But yeah, again, like you'll often find that the factual stuff and what actually happens in real life is produced in these fictional dramas and documentaries and cartoons. Has to be said, could it be another one that's like another 2020 scenario where you don't actually see anything, but the media says otherwise, like this?
I think we should go with a good old-fashioned public health scare.
Yeah. A new disease. No one's immune. It's like the summer of the shark, except instead of a shark, it's an epidemic. And instead of summer, it's all the time.
This can't be a made-up disease. The only moral thing to do is release a deadly virus into the general public.
And again, as usual, you find in all these dramas and documentaries, or dramas in particular, the truth is revealed. So this is Utopia, one of my favourite dramas, because it's everything that's happened so far and probably is going to continue happening. This is one of the sleeper agents who's revealing his plan to Wilson.
Airfield, which I'll fly over a 35 square mile area, releasing the virus onto those below. I will repeat this at 4 other as of yet undisclosed locations all over the world.
Does it bother you that we're going to release a deadly virus?
Well, we have a vaccine.
Many will die before it works. You will have killed them.
But I will have saved everyone.
You get the idea. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, one thing I will say is, obviously, as I keep commenting on the amount of ambulances I see on the road, I think I saw 5 or 6 today. My short journeys across Essex. That is a lot, really. Once upon a time you just see one of them, get out of the way, but now it's all the time, everywhere. And the other one, of course, is this one is where I thought, bloody hell, China again. So in 2008, the Chinese economy was the one propping up the global economy, basically. And this time round, if we have a crash and the Chinese economy's good to go as well, then the whole system's going to collapse. Now, we're coming to the end of 2023. I think if anything was going to happen, because this is all a script, it's all part of their game, it's their plan. You might say WHO, I'm on about, well, funnily enough, WHO is one of the organisations, and WEF is another one. If you're not into that stuff, I'm not really fussed. Like we're a long way into this game now. You should be waking up to the things that are going on around you. When I was in Epping earlier, and earlier on, when I was in Epping, after I'd been to Chipping-Ongar, the steam trains, I happened to go through Epping, trying to find my way out, and I happened to go past the Bell Hotel, and it reminded me of this off DJE Media.
What that is? It's a civil matter. It's a civil matter. Right.
So a bunch of intruding Africans into England, now telling English people that they're intruders when they happen to go into the hotels that English people bought. I saw the doctors and scientists living inside the hotel, kind of sitting in the reception. Like I've said before, I've said it enough times, my opinion is they're soldiers that are here for what's coming up next, in my opinion. And this movie, which came out during 91 DIVOC, reverse that, is something that stuck with me, because it talks about 32 DIVOC, reverse that, and obviously what's coming up now, the end of 2023, obviously 91 DIVOC began at the end of 2019, that was why it was called that. 19 obviously because of 2019. Well, we're in 2023 now, and what happens in this movie?
Emerges.
COVID-23 has mutated.
Curfew is now in effect. All unauthorized citizens must stay indoors.
Tensions rise as we enter the 213th week of lockdown.
Grim new reality emerges.
COVID-23 has mutated.
Yeah, that movie came out during 91 DIVOC. I think it came out 2021. But it's well worth a watch. The movie itself is shite. It's a bit cheesy. It's a love story in between it, but generally I'd seriously advise anyone who thinks along the lines that I do to watch it, because it's almost like, as usual, I've said before, that you're showing the truth in movies. And this scene in particular, you know, like I said before about these so-called migrants or single young men living in the hotels, well, could they be used for this when we have a sick population?
Department of Sanitation.
Sarah, talk to me.
I think my neighbor has a fever.
It'll be so much easier if you just open the door. Mrs. Grant, you have visitors.
On a positive note, what I have to say is, like the like the song says, don't worry about a thing. I don't think they're going to be able to enforce this. I really don't. I think we're too spread out. They haven't concentrated the population anywhere near enough. And also with English people, towns and cities are basically human zoos, in my opinion, and they've been created deliberately in that role. So when it kicks off, most people, like myself, will be more than happy to go in the woods again. And them migrants that don't belong here, they're not going to be coming out in the woods looking for us, are they? They all gravitate to the cities, these people. Look at London, look at Birmingham, Manchester, Leeds. You don't find many of them in the countryside. So when it all kicks off big time, if it does, you know, the countryside is free to roam basically. So towns and cities, you ain't growing food in there, and you can see how dangerous they're becoming as it is. You imagine if you had a food shortage or water shortage in one of them, you know, it'd be absolute chaos. But you know, civilized. I don't want to go on to start the civilization thing, but it is unnatural, and you can see the end result of it where we are now.
Protected. Armed guards will be arriving in 4 to 6 hours. You must not attempt to leave your home, or you will be shot on sight.